Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Lance's Performance Shop, Lone Star Mopars.com. Trucking along here, trying to get the shop cleaned up a little bit. Part of that, painstakingly entails showcasing awesome stuff we've purchased for fantastic deals. So, wow, rough times, you know. But anyway, what we have laying out before us is our Dark Gray Friday #1. You'll note the tool of the day is missing. If you're curious what that is, check back in case you missed it. Otherwise, you should recall, hopefully. But what we picked up with the Wera hex keys here, again, this is a set to fill the void in the home box that was created when the void was made by taking this very set to work. So, welcome back, if you will. This set right here, the Philo #9s with the Olfa bonus cutter, that was a nice pickup. And moving on, you guessed it, we're going into Dark Gray Friday #2. We get to relive all the good times of saving tons of money on high quality German tools. As with anything, I think I've been forgetting to mention this, but if I can grab it, anytime you place an order, even if it's a fantastic sale price like on Dark Gray Friday #2, you're going to get a bit of thanks. They're currently shipping as a #2 bit. And right here you get a German tool sticker pack. If you exceed $100, $75 plus gets you free freight. So, what we're going to get started with here is from Knipex. This is their part number 162050. And it's right here, and you're thinking like, oh yeah, the Knipex knife. You know, I'm pretty confident you jumped on this bandwagon, pulled that trigger, showcased this long ago. Yeah, speaking of that, I've never made the follow-up to, actually using all of these knives and which one I liked best and, wound up keeping and using as my EDC, but I can tell you that right here in my hand I have that knife. And if you're thinking like, how did you do that? What magic and witchcraft? Well, this is the original that we purchased, and same thing still stand true. Again, it's going to stand out pretty good with the red and the blue. It's a nice touch. That's kind of your thumb slot as well, but it's also the Knipex diamond logo, so it's neat. You do have the lanyard provision there, which you don't often find with these knives. Very light, performed well. I won't go into too many details. You can kind of see the battle scars there. That would have been such a great video when it was all like recent and relevant, because I literally, it was like a perfect storm. I carried each one roughly like a week at work, and I almost had the exact same things, like really thick round after round of stretch wrap. I had like similar shipments coming in, stuff going out. I had roughly like the same number of packaging. It was like a perfect deal, and then I just kind of dropped the ball and not making the follow-up. But I still recall most of it, and I can definitely tell you the winner. But maybe some point we'll get back on that. Let me know. The bottom line, at the $20 mark, it's fantastic. It's a nice backup. It could be given to someone. I don't know. For right now, it's going to be a backup. And it's just too good of a price, really, to pass up. The next item, let's just go ahead and jump in with this. This will be from Wera. It is their part number 133164. This was $32.99, and if you're scoring at home, you're like, $32.99. This was like $31.99, if I'm thinking correctly, which is kind of crazy when you see this. You're like, whoa, more hex keys. Really, this must be your metric set to replace the metric ones that you took to work. Kind of. This is not, as you can see here, this box. Wera does some really nice packaging, but they've yet to master the art of stuffing this form factor into a box that is physically smaller. So this is, again, their part number 133164. And I gotta tell you, I'm excited about it for reasons that you will soon see. Right here, again, to me, that clearly looks like a black key, but if we open it, it's not. It's this. I do think that is the metric color. I started to say they're classic green, and that appears to be what it is. But what's nice about these, if you recall, you remember, I said, man, these like little Torx keys are smaller, right? A little smaller form factor. This did not come with a sticker. What blasphemy is that? Unbelievable. I've also got the low battery light flashing for those of you that wondered how the battery's doing. Well, that's your answer. But I've told you, you know, like those Sta Villas that we just had on Tool of the Day. Spoiler alert, if you missed the last video, that was Tool of the Day. The thing that appealed to me, aside from just being a standard old traditional and on sale, they were small. These are fantastic, but you've got to have the space for them, right? So whether you're getting leverage with them or whether you're going down, you've got to have the space constraints available to solicit a tall, long pattern tool. These are kind of more of a mid-range traditional size, if you will. Same great take it easy tool finder, labeling, Hex Plus profile, all the great selling points are there. It's just in a smaller form factor. So this particular set, we've got 10, 8, and 6 in your take it easy tool finders. Then we've got 5, 4, 3, 2.5, 2, and 1.5. The way these work: clasp up, fold out. Pretty simple. Again, I've had these now for quite a while, not this set, but similarly, you know, equipped sets with this holder. I've never torn one open. There are a few that I just kind of leave folded out. Maybe that has something to do with it. But a lot of times, like when I'm taking them anywhere, they're folded up, they're clasped. So far, no breakage. And that's just a couple of years, not like a decade or anything like that. But this is, again, pretty much what you know and love there, just in the smaller form factor. So if you come in and you jump in, you drop your tin, and you're trying to bust the cap screw free, and it's like, I think it's coming, and then boom, guess what? I've got an obstruction here. I can't physically swing this key. I can't go up either and, you know, get leverage without a cheater pipe. Right here, throw that down. Boom, now where my hand was running into the obstruction, I'm inboard a few inches and we can break it free or throw a pipe or whatever. But that was the selling point there. I remember distinctly when that came up, I was like, oh, well, you know, that kind of flew under the radar type of a thing. And I asked Colin, I was like, hey, is there an SAE? Because again, I'm going to use SAE a ton more. Again, here and at work, you know, on the lathes and everything. So I said, hey, is there an SAE equivalent of this? And at that time, which was, I don't know, a month, 2 months ago, 3 months, something, quite a while, several weeks, we'll just say, there was not. He said, you know, there might be one in the pipeline. It seems like it would make sense that they would do it. Obviously, their priorities would be metric. They're going to move more of them. But personally, I hope that that does come to fruition, because if you love this 3/8 Hex Plus profile and it's gotten rounded out cap screws out and you haven't had to use RBRT stuff and you swear by it, there will come a day where it will be too freaking big. And you'll be like, dadgum. You know, I'm going to have to try to use a bit socket, and then I was going to strip it out. And I'm going to have to buy RBRT stuff. Smaller form factor, get it done, call it good. Again, I would love to see that come to fruition. So you're thinking like, wow, you know, that's really cool. This Dark Gray Friday 1 and 2, what great deals you picked up. What I want to know from you is what deals you picked up. And you're like, no, this can't be over. This is too fast of a video for this guy. You would be correct, and you would also probably think, surely there was something else that had to have piqued your interest. And indeed there was, and it's kind of a change of pace from these two items, the knife and the hex keys. It's from Halder, and it is their part number 3013.040. This one is gonna look similar if you recall what we bring in on the channel, but I assure you it's different. But it's similar enough. I can utilize it with different things and have everything cross over, which is killer. So, this little thing was $43.65. I actually felt like that was a pretty good deal. But this would be the Halder Simplex mallet with soft blue and rubber gray. And it's going to have a cast iron housing. The profile here on their C40, it's going to actually be a striking face, what that's going to translate to for old school people, 1.57 inch, so just a little over 1.5 inches. Not massive, not tiny, just a nice mid-range Goldilocks option type of a hammer. Again, that's what sort of drew me to the Simplex in the first place, the C40. And this one is unique compared to the others I have. And, I can tell you right now, the most recent one we picked up is right here, and it's still tacky from where I tried to take those warning stickers off. Good Lord, I wish that would change. You'll note, same thing. This is sort of a really nice face. This is different. This is actually a harder face than that. And if you're thinking like, well, hey, those look like, aside from this being some funky burgundy and this looking like silver, these are like identical heads, aren't? Can you just interchange that? 100%. So if I had beaten and bashed on this one, this was a really good deal we got, by the way, on the Simplex 40 here. If I broke this handle in half, I could literally have this one show up and I could put this head on that one. Same thing, if I had absolutely torn this up, but I wanted to have another insert, I could take that insert and put it here. It will interchange for me. Super cool deal. And if you're thinking like, man, that one looks like it's never been used. Well, that's because I use this one all the time. And, this all ties in, and I assure you, this was another video, speaking of me dropping the ball on the knife comparison thing. This was something else I had planned, but now I can do a way better job because I can showcase it physically. I don't just have to like conceptualize it and give you links to a website or something. So obviously, wood handle, fiberglass handle. This shiny silver, I was trying to allude to, if you don't recall, this is an aluminum head, okay? This is not. When I went and fished this out of the cart, again, because it gets used all the time, this is like the one that I have had the longest and used the most. This guy right here feels like you're carrying the weight of the world compared to this little featherweight here. Like I could lift this up and it might go to orbit, right? This thing is not. It's going to come back down and crack my skull type of a thing, even with the fiberglass handle. Why? This is what Halder calls their reinforced cast iron housing. Note that it is black. Anywhere in their catalog, any series, if you see this, it is going to be reinforced cast iron. This is aluminum. It is epically lightweight. This burgundy one is literally going to be your Goldilocks. It's not the lightweight of aluminum. It's not the super duper heavy duty reinforced cast iron. It's just a cast iron housing. The best thing, again, all three of these heads will interchange. Again, keep in mind, I've got the C40 stuff. If you had like their really large, like say a 50 or 60, or a step down with a 30, there might be some issues there. But for me and what I've invested in, I can swap this all around. So if I find that Goldilocks has become my favorite, I prefer the Simplex 40 wood handle, I prefer this mid-tier housing, I can do that. If I find that I love this the best, paired with the white plastic, I can do that. If I wear this out and I'm like, hey, that aluminum one I never use has that brand new insert on it, I can swap it out. It's a win. It seems redundant, and it is to a degree, but all of this was like stupid good buys. So the way these came equipped, this one literally came this way. This is, believe it or not, their softest. That blue is going to be a TPE, thermoplastic elastomer. It's going to be soft, and most importantly, non-marring. This right here that we just bought is what I'm most concerned with showcasing to you. This gray, it's going to be like their number 3, and what I mean by that, it's their TPE mid. It's going to be medium hard. It also maintains non-marring. Obviously, neither one of these are going to be hard, but they're both non-marring. This one being a little bit, but this is kind of a nice combination, particularly if you've got like steel-faced or brass or dedicated rubber. It's pretty good setup, pretty light. Again, this is just, it was a great buy, and man, like if you were here, this is the thing, if you could only be here, you could be like, whoa, hey, like this is great, like I can actually feel all these and see. I don't just have to like buy it blindly. This thing is a hoss. Like this is heavy. This is a feather, and that's mid-tier, right? So it works out beautifully for me. Again, maybe you bought Halder when KC Tool started carrying it, and you went with like something small and something ginormous. Well, your stuff not going to get to swap out as cleanly as mine, but it is all available. Everything is replaceable. The handle, the head, the inserts. That's the beauty there. You're paying a little bit more, but you can swap everything out. If you find that you hate that blue, it's good, but it just wears too fast, step it up to the next one. If you find your perfect combination, maybe you like the soft metal and the copper on this handle, and then maybe with your aluminum, you like the super plastic and the soft blue. all of that interchanges, so everything you stock plugs and plays. It's just a beautiful setup, and that is why that's here. Even though we technically were covered, it was just too good of a deal. I got the inserts, the heads. We can now make the video with all three visualized for you. It's a win, man. This was a total win. So I am thrilled about that. And I think that actually is the video. There was one more item I bought on here, but it wasn't from Dark Gray Friday. It was from the seasonal, and I think we'll save that one. So plus the battery light's kind of pressuring me here. And it's sort of stressful, that red thing flashing at me. You know? So it's like, get this done before your outro, you know, doesn't get to happen, and you have to come back out and cobble it together. So that's what I'll do. It's a sign from above. We need to wrap this one up. So Knipex knife, repeat offender. Again, very familiar with this. I've never had the small form factor. There's been plenty of times I've wished I had a small form factor. So that's there. There are times, this is really, it's like the forklift line nut. That might actually work, actually. But really stupid small might be needed at some points. But if you have these two, you're going to cover like 90-95% of everything you would ever want to do with them. So that's a win. Again, fantastic pricing across the board. That's a known commodity to me. It was too good of a deal to pass up. And this, for me, being the mid-tier that I lacked and something I'm familiar with and can interchange on the frickin' Dark Gray Friday #2 price point, it's here because I couldn't say no. So, what I want to know from you, think back to Dark Gray Friday. Maybe you know them all. Maybe you got them crossed up in your head. What did you get? How are you liking it? You've had it now for a few months, especially by the time this video finally releases. How has it treated you? Did you find something that you liked the best? Did you find something that sort of disappointed you? Whatever your thoughts are, feel free to leave them. Again, my advice for Halder, I totally get these labels and everything, but like a clean release would be much appreciated because it's such a beautiful handle. And then, yeah, adhesive, right? Like I said, that aluminum one, you just run your hand here, still have the adhesive. I hate that. I'm sure most of you do too, but it is what it is. With that said, you know the drill. If you like what I do here, I encourage you to leave a like. Always encourage you to share your thoughts and opinions, especially if you have first-hand expertise with any of these items. More importantly, again, everything linked down below. Still don't make jack off of that, at least as of recording this. People tell me I should, but I don't. Hey, it is what it is. It's all there for your convenience, timestamps and links. Similarly, if you do like what I do here, you like multiple things, I encourage you to subscribe. If you do that, you ring the bell, you jump your charger across the creek, you have your mid-tier weight Halder C40, you've got your stubby Wera L keys. YouTube just might notify you. We got new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. With that said, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic week. Most importantly, I hope I catch you back here for more action from the shop.